It's time to take a look back at one of my favorite cartoons of the 80s, Inspector Gadget. I remember watching the show at a very young age. I also remember when they used to air old episodes of Get Smart. This was a series about a dumb secret agent named Maxwell Smart who would use absurd inventions in his efforts to fight crime. He was played by the late Don Adams, who was the voice actor that portrayed Inspector Gadget.
This is Smart. Maxwell Smart, Agent 86.
So I was watching both these shows when I was a kid, and I was confused by the similarities.
Trying to pull my leg, eh? Well, that's another thing you can't do.
Maxwell Smart and Gadget were both idiots. Check out this clip where Gadget destroys a city block.
Look, Penny, they're having a big sale at this department store.
This absent-minded behavior is also based on Inspector Clouseau from the Pink Panther films, played by Peter Sellers. In fact, this scene is lifted right out of a Pink Panther movie. This is clearly a parody of Dr. Strangelove, also with Peter Sellers. In each episode, Gadget is given a mission by Chief Quimby to stop the latest plot by Dr. Claw. The idea of a secret message that self-destructs is a parody of the tapes that would explode in Mission Impossible, the TV series. On Mission Impossible, after the tape was played, it would disintegrate. Here, the message just blows up after Gadget reads it. A piece of paper that explodes? It's a brilliant idea.
Protect.
It's also funny that he reads such a top-secret message out loud.
So that's what's going on.
Chief Quimby always happens to be nearby when the message is read and can never get away from the explosion. He'll hide in a coffee pot.
Chief Quimby!
Or in Igor's hump.
At last, an assignment that didn't blow up in my face.
Hand away, Chief.
This time, he folds the paper message up into an airplane and sends it from one mountaintop to another, thinking there's no way he can get hit now. But Gadget just throws it back.
I'm sure you'll find this design more aerodynamically sound.
No, no, no!
What a moron. So, what is Inspector Gadget? Well, he's a bionic cyborg super agent.
I'm Inspector Gadget, super agent.
His goal is to stop Dr. Claw and the evil MAD organization from committing crimes, and to do so, uses his wide array of gadgets.
Go, Gadget, wings!
And man, does this crazy dude have a lot of them. The most common used are probably the Go-Go Gadget copter, the skates, the cuffs, the arms, the legs, the neck, umbrella, coat, and mallet. But here's some of the others that he's equipped with. Go-Go Gadget Snow Gun, Gadget Lasso, Gadget Magnet, Gadget Binoculars, Gadget Laser, Gadget Skis, Gadget Blow Dryer, Gadget Flashlight, Gadget Radar, Gadget Dome Light, Gadget Toothbrush, Gadget Seltzer Bottle, Gadget Rocket Skates, Gadget Bolo Net, Gadget Compass, Gadget Finger Key, Gadget Scissors, Gadget Water Gun, Gadget Space Helmet, Gadget Saw, Gadget Sail, Gadget Ear, Gadget Crosshairs, and Refrigigadget, which is like air conditioning in a spray can. And then he's got some really weird ones, like a pair of remote control teeth that fly out of his head. That's creepy. And then there's the Go-Go Gadget Skyhook, which can save him from falls. But what does it latch onto? A cloud? According to the episode The Amazon, Gadget got his devices from Professor von Slickstein.
Professor von Slickstein? Why, he's the scientific genius that gave you all your gadgets.
Of course, they had to use that old cliche, which means another Frankenstein clip.
Frankenstein.
You see that enough in my videos, but anyway, later on in the series, there's another scientist. Guess they just decided to get rid of Slickstein, or it's the same guy and they changed his name. In the very last episode, there's a photo of Gadget as a baby, and he has his gadgets even as an infant. I always assumed he got his gadgets when he was an adult, sort of like how RoboCop became robotic, like Gadget was given the devices by the Force to fight crime. So did the scientists put the gadgets in him when he was a baby? Or was he born that way? Did he actually... Oh god, that's a disgusting thought.
Wowzers.
Then, in another episode, Gadget travels back in time and meets his ancient relative. His past self has gadgets too. Well, we already learned that he got his gadgets from a scientist, so how can this version of Gadget from the past also have gadgets? Can we assume there was a scientist back then too? It's so absurd, it's awesome. Gadget is also completely indestructible. In this episode, he falls off the Empire State Building, and it doesn't faze him in the least.
I told you I'd be right back.
In this scene from the same episode, Dr. Claw cuts the cables to an elevator that Gadget is in. It kinda takes away the suspense because he already fell off the Empire State Building, so even if the elevator did crash, we know he'd be fine. Take this scene from the episode Dry Spell, for instance.
Ah, yes, I see it. But it's a long way down.
Don't worry, I'll help you down.
Again, why doesn't Gadget just fly down? Hell, he could even just jump down. I mean, he's invincible, right? His gadgets fail him, but he's still okay.
I should check my equipment more often.
After all, a bomb blows up in the intro and he doesn't die. Why is he so immortal? Maybe he's God. Yeah, that's it. Imagine if there was a religion based on Inspector Gadget. That's a scary thought. There's an episode where he gets drunk. He's the last guy that needs to be drunk. He's bad enough sober.
I'm a donkey.
It's unexpected to see a character get drunk in a kid's cartoon, but sometimes he even gets really horny. Wonder if he has a go-go Gadget dick. Here, he looks at a movie actress with his binoculars. The camera moves from her eyes, to her lips, to her chest. Yeah, Gadget's a real creep sometimes.
Young lady, I am a police inspector.
You're a pervert!
Most classic cartoon characters have some sort of catchphrase. What's up, Doc? Eat my shorts, and so on. Gadget's catchphrase is,
I'm always on duty. I'm always on duty. I'm always on duty. I'm always on duty.
but sometimes when he says it, it has no relation to what's going on. Well, he's kind of like a robot, so maybe it's just an automatic response mechanism.
But how do we get down?
Never fear, Penny. I'm always on duty.
That doesn't answer her question whatsoever. Gadget has a home life and takes care of his niece Penny, but he's not a very responsible uncle. He leaves her at home by herself and tells the dog to look after her.
I should be home in a few days. Take care of Penny, Brain.
Gadget is the dumb one, and she is the smart one. It's kind of like the relationship between Donald Duck and Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Donald, the adult, is the idiot, and the kids have more common sense.
Okay, Uncle Gadget.
Yeah, Penny calls him Uncle. I wonder where her real parents are. Maybe Dr. Claw is her real father. That would mean that Dr. Claw is Gadget's brother. That would have been a good plot twist. Anyway, Penny does all the work, and she always makes it look as though her uncle solved the case. She's a child prodigy. She has a computer book which she uses to reprogram any mad operation that's going on. This show is from the early 80s. It's the year 2011, and my MacBook can't do that. Back then, all I had was a Commodore 64, and that certainly couldn't do that shit, so where the fuck is Penny getting that kind of technology? I guess she built it herself. She's smart enough to. In this episode, they travel to the past, and the time machine breaks. But that's no problem, Penny just fixes the time machine with whatever Stone Age stuff is lying around. That's right, Penny can fix time machines with sticks and stones. Doc Brown, eat your heart out. So basically, Penny is the real hero of the show. I think the whole purpose of Penny was to empower children, to make them think they can accomplish just as much, if not more than their parents. Penny follows Gadget wherever he goes, and he's always messing things up, following the wrong leads.
Oh, we're secret police. We're replacing the real artwork with fakes so the collection will be saved.
I knew it. Colleagues, let me help you. There are mad agents around here.
The only one he ever does think is a mad agent is his own dog.
Hey, you! Stop!
While Penny is off stopping Mad from whatever evil scheme they're up to, she sends the family dog, Brain, to protect Gadget to help him out of trouble. That's right, Brain, the other real hero of the show. He's constantly trying to keep Gadget out of danger, and in return, Gadget is always trying to arrest Brain thinking he's a mad agent. Man, Brain sure has a hard life. Usually Brain will be in a disguise, so that's why Gadget can't tell it's his own dog. That's hard enough to swallow, but then sometimes he's not even wearing a mask, and Gadget still can't recognize him.
Stop in the name of the law!
It's funny, Penny and Gadget both talk to Brain like they understand what he's saying.
Wrong, Brain. There's a bunch of mad agents on the roof of the Mint, and they have all the gold? Yeah! Uncle Gadget is in the building, and there's some sort of trap, and a bomb?
And here's probably my favorite conversation Gadget ever had with Brain.
Yes, Brain? Okay, but cover it up afterwards.
That's right, Brain literally just asked Gadget if he could go outside and take a shit. Well, that covers Gadget and his family, so check in for part 2, and we'll talk about some other aspects of the show.
I will get you next time. Next time.
Last time we talked about Inspector Gadget, his niece Penny, and their dog Brain. Now I want to discuss the main villain of the series, Dr. Claw. First of all, I should mention that Dr. Claw's voice was done by Frank Welker, who has done many famous voices such as Stripe from Gremlins, Ray Stantz, and Slimer in The Real Ghostbusters, and Megatron from Transformers too.
You couldn't lead androids to a picnic.
Besides Dr. Claw, Welker also did the voice of Brain. Dr. Claw is the head of an evil organization called MAD. What does MAD stand for? I don't think anything. I think it's just a name, and the logo is the face of an evil-looking cat. During the show, you'll notice many things are marked with the MAD logo, indicating it's owned by Dr. Claw. Not too inconspicuous, is it? Here, a MAD agent dressed as a milkman puts a bottle of milk on the front porch with a bomb in it. And there's a MAD label on it. The MAD company is almost as stupid as Gadget sometimes. Whenever Dr. Claw wants something done, he calls on any of his random MAD agents. Dr. Claw always employs different bad guys. There is Rattlesnake Bart, Greenfinger, the Rat, Presto Chango, Clockmaker, Jungle Bob, Fast Abdul, and many more. I guess they had to do this because they needed villains they could actually show. It's been said that what you don't see is more scary than what you actually do see, and this is never more true than in the case of Dr. Claw, whose face you never see. At least in the original cartoon. Sure, it's seen after the original series, on toys, video games, and the live-action movies, but never on the original TV series. I always thought Dr. Claw's face should look somewhat like a cat's face. The MAD symbol is a cat after all, so his face should be cat-like, shouldn't it? I don't like that old man face they used on that toy. That toy came out in 1992, so I don't accept it as his official face. Yes, it's made by Deke, but it was after the show ended. There were other Inspector Gadget shows and movies, but to me they exist in a separate universe. In one episode, Dr. Claw has a counterpart named Waruda-san. He's got a red version of Mad Cat, wears samurai gloves, and lives in a pagoda. So if Waruda-san is Dr. Claw's counterpart, then they probably look similar, right? I think if they ever revealed Claw's face on the TV series, it would have looked something along these lines. Sort of like a samurai Darth Vader helmet with cat eyes. But then, there's this part.
You destroyed my Fuji Ray, you crab face.
So maybe his face looks like a crab? Is that why he's called Dr. Claw?
One day I'll let you see my face. Just before I finish you off for good.
Dr. Claw's hideout is usually a Dracula-type castle. In fact, in one episode, they say it is literally Dracula's old castle.
You see that castle? That's Count Dracula's former home.
Suspect he's in Dracula's castle.
Think about that. Dracula and Dr. Claw lived in the same place. Well, if you're familiar with the story of Dracula, the Count moves out of his Transylvania home and into a new place in London. That would mean the real estate agent had actually sold his former castle to Dr. Claw. That is amazing. But anyway, Dr. Claw had hideouts all over the place, even in the Swiss Alps. When the show got to season 2, I guess they were trying to get more creative with Dr. Claw's location, instead of always having him behind a desk. Dr. Claw's whole goal in life is to take over the world, but first he has to destroy Gadget, who always thwarts his evil schemes.
Gadget!
Dr. Claw hates Gadget. It's really frustrating for Dr. Claw because he knows Gadget isn't very smart.
He is an idiot.
So if Dr. Claw is always sitting behind a desk, how does he even know what's going on in the world, right? Well, he's got an advanced camera system that lets him see anything and anywhere.
I see you, Gadget.
He may not be able to kill Gadget since he's indestructible, but he could kill Penny and Brain, couldn't he? And then all of Dr. Claw's plots would succeed. I guess Dr. Claw doesn't realize Penny is the one who stops all his plots.
Who's that?
Wait a minute, this is the 48th episode and he still doesn't know who Penny is? Come on, all he does is spy on Gadget's house. I think I already mentioned the name of the cat is Mad Cat. Mad Cat always just sits around and responds to whatever Dr. Claw says. Whenever he gets angry, he slams his fist on the table, knocking Mad Cat off. He beats the shit out of this cat. He strangles him, whacks him, smashes him, and verbally abuses him.
You useless puffball.
Occasionally, Mad Cat will try and prevent getting beat on, like the time he glued Dr. Claw's arm down. Another small detail about Mad Cat is that once in a while you'll see him playing with Inspector Gadget dolls. Was that supposed to promote the real Gadget doll they sold in stores to kids?
I'd like a choo-choo train, a candy cane, an Inspector Gadget doll.
Geez, he mentions his own doll? That's kind of breaking the fourth wall a bit, isn't it?
I wasn't telling you, I was telling our viewers.
Looks like Ninja Turtles wasn't the only 80s cartoon to break the fourth wall. For one thing, Gadget is always whistling his own theme song. Maybe I can excuse the whistling, but then there's moments like this when they blatantly mention an episode.
Wowzers! I haven't seen this much snow since that episode in the Arctic.
I watch all your reruns.
But anyway, Mad Cat does some weird stuff. How about in this shot where Mad Cat has a hat on for no reason? And notice on the left you can see the seat pad Dr. Claw should be sitting on, but where are his legs? Is he just a pair of floating arms? And then a few minutes later, Mad Cat is wearing a full Inspector Gadget costume. The show had a bunch of weird animation moments. Like here, the audience in the circus are totally still. And here, there's a weird still frame of a monkey holding Gadget and Slickstein. What's the point of that? Sometimes they even forgot to animate Gadget's mouth.
Be careful, Uncle Gadget.
Don't worry, Penny, I've got it.
But my favorite parts are when Gadget flips the bird. Yep, he gives the middle finger. That's great. Gadget and Dr. Claw both have unique vehicles they ride in. Gadget has the van that turns into a car, and Dr. Claw has the Madmobile, which can become a jet or even a submarine.
Prepare the Gadget. Let's go get Gadget.
What a goof. When I was a kid, I always loved the episodes where the Gadgetmobile and Madmobile would battle. It seemed those vehicles could do anything, shoot rockets, lift into the air on spring legs, you name it. Unfortunately, it seems like there was only a handful of episodes where they had decent car battles.
Lucky for you, Gadget. I've got a plane to catch.
Wait, he says I've got a plane to catch? But it's already been established that the Madmobile can turn into a plane, making his comment seem pretty funny. Anyhow, there are some other characters on the show.
Dr. Claw, what an unexpected pleasure.
For example, there was this one lady called Thelma Bopkin. She's just like an annoying housemaid or something. Kids don't want to see that shit. Give us a villain that's badass. Have Gadget battle a giant robot or something, not some maid. In Season 2, Gadget got a stupid sidekick named Corporal Cape Man.
Corporal Cape Man reporting for duty.
He's even more of an idiot than Gadget, and it makes Brain's job even harder because now he has to deal with two idiots. Fortunately, they had enough sense to not use this character often. What's strange is everyone says his name different. Gadget calls him Capman.
Capman!
And Penny calls him Capey.
They've taken Uncle Gadget and Capey to some sort of secret hospital.
Also, in Season 2, there's occasionally parts where there are cameos from Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats, since it was also made by Deke. There were other episodes that had some pop culture references too, like this lady, Louise Lane.
I'm Louise Lane.
Which is like Lois Lane. Rick Rocker, who's supposed to be like Elvis.
Thank you very much.
And this computer, that's clearly a reference to HAL from 2001: A Space Odyssey. Season 2 also had Gadget, Penny, and Brain move into a new house. This house is covered in gadgets. There's crazy devices everywhere, like robotic arms and what's that supposed to be? The automatic Gadget ball sack? Well, that wraps up most of my thoughts on the series. Inspector Gadget was one of the earliest shows I remember watching on TV. It's a great nostalgic trip for myself to be able to watch these again after so many years. Back then, it was a big part of my life. Hopefully sometime soon I can dig up another cartoon series. Till next time, Cinemassacre signing out.
I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time.